What's up and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle podcast. I am Brad Valdez.
I'm Kevin Watson.
I'm Dakota Waldron.
The Choppa is back, man. He took a week off. He had to work. How was work?
It's work.
Big.
It's fun though to get to see things from the chopper. That's about it.
But yeah, hey, we're gonna do the call to action. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are almost at our 500 subscriber goal for the year. Man, it's getting close. Yeah. Well, we at 473.
473 last time I looked.
Yep.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're almost there. Hey, now this is just off subject.
Going off subject. I like
off subject, man. We got to throw some. We got to. We never asked Dakota like any icebreaker questions. You know what I mean?
Our production meeting we have has nothing to do with anything.
No.
That's great.
No, that's what I'm like. Okay, so listen, we need to do like two icebreakers. Okay.
With Dakota?
Yeah, with Dakota.
I've never done any with you all before.
I know. It's like we just threw the chopper on here. You guys don't even get to know the guy. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, are you ready for the icebreakers?
Yeah, let's go ahead. I think I know what one or two of them might be ahead of time, but let's see.
Okay, what is your go-to football movie?
Remember the Titans.
Okay.
For some reason, that film has always spoke to me, and it's always been one of my favorite ones. Most people actually back home are surprised it's not Rudy. Because I used to back home I was 5'7", 180 pounds, soaking wet. So everyone was like, "Oh, hey, Rudy, how you doing?" And I'm just like, "I'm not Rudy. I'm not Rudy." I mean, I'm glad they gave me that comparison, but it's like I at least played. Rudy only played like 3 plays, so I started at least.
Right. Hey, you got one for him?
I want to know what is your actual feeling about the nickname Chopper?
I like it.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people, it's funny at home, are like, what are they calling you? I'm like, the Chopper. And they're like, why? I'm like, well, on Friday nights, I watch the football games from the Chopper and everything. I'm like, it fits. It'd be one thing.
I had somebody I work with that hadn't seen it. He had listened to it a couple times. He goes, "Has he got big teeth or something?" What's Chopper? And I was like, dude, watch the video. Watch the video. He had no clue.
You know, it was funny because remember we were riding up to our first ever live, and I was like, "Hey, look, I got some new sound effects." You know what I mean? So that's why we played the Chopper, and he's like, and we're like, "Oh shit, Dakota's in the Chopper, man!" So it just fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Favorite fast food?
Right now, it's been Jaggers.
What you're ordering?
I'm a plain Jane kind of a guy. I just get the double cheeseburger, loaded, fries, and a sweet tea. That's what I roll with.
There you go, man. And then you said you went to K-State.
Yes, I went to Kentucky State University. At the time, John L. Smith was the head coach there. So it was kind of interesting to be underneath the Louisville legend, I guess you could say.
How was that? Because my wife is very inquiring, and she said he went to K-State.
Yes.
Usually predominantly black.
It is an
HBCU.
Yes.
It's an HBCU. I actually went down there and went to their baseball kickoff, or
not kickoff. No, I know
went
what you
to
mean.
their first pitch dinner, and we were talking about that, and she was like, "He there's no way he went to K-State," and I was like, "Yes, he did."
Yep.
And explain how you got to K-State.
So, honestly, it was a blessing. Honestly, because I was only 5'7" at that time, about 200 pounds. And I really wasn't looking to go play. I wanted to play college ball, but I didn't know how the game to actually get to the next level was. And that's putting yourself out there and actually messaging the coaches and everything. I had no idea about that. But my dad actually happened to be at K-State at the time and was talking with some of the football coaches. And luckily for me, I learned how to long snap. And that's a funny story in and out of it. Because it was photo day and they're like, "Man, we ain't got a freshman long snapper." Dakota, yeah? Go in there and take a picture. We'll teach you how to long snap later. Got it. And
there you go.
And I was just saying, and that was my one shot. I didn't look back though, and I learned how to long snap. And my whole time in high school, I only had one bad snap, and that was in a muddy game with North Oldham. And then they saw my film at K-State. They're like, "Want to come up here?" I was like, "I'm more than happy to continue to play football," and I didn't know what I wanted to do career-wise at that point. So I said, it's pretty cheap. I can go there. Don't have to worry about getting into debt. So, hey, this is a win-win-win-win. I'll go do it.
That's a great story for
the
young guys out there. And it's funny you said that because I'm I got a buddy of mine. I'm not going to say what school he goes to, but his son's a long snapper. And I told him, I was like, dude, you could go to the NFL and be a long snapper for 15 years and never get touched. And he's like, no, my kid. And I was like, telling you, they got dudes in the NFL that look like plumbers that are long snappers they're making the minimum, but the minimum in the NFL is a hell of a lot better than some of the jobs out there.
Right.
Still several $100,000 right there.
That's
on the
a great
minimum.
story.
Like,
So if you're listening, you know who you are. If you're listening, prime example right here.
And I was going to say, it'll take you farther than you realize. And it may seem like a countless job till you snap one over the head, and next thing you know, the other team's got 7 points, and you're like, ooh, yep, that was
And there's
bad.
a reason that most schools have more than one long snapper.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you mess up, boop, you're gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know you're from Spencer County.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's your favorite memory playing ball there?
Ooh, that's a hard one. So a little insight for those that do not know. My father come from Washington County when he played ball. He played all the way up to his junior year. They made a run to the semi-state, lost to Fort Campbell in 2A at the time. This is like 1978, 79, way back when. However, my dad then moved and came to Spencer County his senior year. Spencer County didn't have a football team at that time. They hadn't had a football team since 1941 because during the Second World War, everybody left. The team and the program just died. So all that was left was basketball, baseball, soccer. That was all. And there wasn't football in the county for many, many, many years. Dad goes off to the Marine Corps, comes back a couple years later as a mechanic, and he's like, you know what? I want to start football in this county. I never got to finish my senior year. It's time some other kids here actually get a senior year and actually play the game of football, which helped make me the man I was. So, 1999, the same year I was born, I always joke and say I was born and bred to play football in Spencer County. My father starts the youth football league. The first season's in 2001. My dad then goes up and talks to everyone in the county, the school board and everything. Is like, I want football at the high school. And they're like, no, it won't have enough money and everything. So he helps raise the money and find all the equipments and funds from across Kentucky and helped start the football program at Kentucky. 2003, they started the first season. It was JV only. Junior Dugan was the head coach for that team. But then 2004 was the very first varsity year at Spencer County.
And Marksberry was the coach, right? Wasn't he the first? He's been the only coach, right?
No, there's actually been 4.
There's been 4. Okay, I thought
Really?
Marksberry started it.
Yeah, Marksberry, though, came in 2010. He's been there for 14
Okay.
years, so it seems like he's been almost there since the start.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought he started. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, he's been there for forever. But, I mean, if I had to say my favorite moment, it actually would be a JV game, which, you know, a lot of people, not a lot of people go to JV games, but as a player, there's no pressure. If that makes any sort of sense, you kind of can.
Perfect sense.
You just play ball. You enjoy life, and it was my mom's birthday. I'll never forget this. So this is my favorite moment, I'd say, for right now. And I played. Let me see if I get this right. Center, left guard, fullback, kicker, wide receiver, linebacker, defensive line.
In the same game.
All in the same game, and I recovered my own. I recovered my own onside kick in Shelby County, and I scored a touchdown on a fumble recovery. It was JV, but to me, it was just play ball and have fun. And at the end of the day, to me, that's what football is. I was just having fun. And it was on my mom's birthday. So I was like, there you go, Mom. Nice birthday gift for you.
Well,
Hey, wow.
that's the introduction of the Chopper, man. And Dakota, we appreciate you, man. And we wanted to give you some shine for like 5 minutes,
you talk
man.
about a utility guy. That's
Yes.
here.
Hey, the one thing I learned, and I'd say this for everyone, all the players that are listening, yeah, you want to get real good in one area, but have a mind for the game, not just for your position, but for every position.
Dude was the first Swiss Army knife in the Spencer County.
I wouldn't say that.
Wow.
I just happen to know
That's
a lot of stuff.
crazy. In the same game.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And, of course, JV, you don't have to switch numbers and all that.
Yeah.
You're probably a different number every week anyway in JV.
Well, I purposely grabbed 58, though.
Okay.
We used to when they were handing them out, we used to just give them. They would ask for something. We like, no.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
But what was the number
was
for?
58 for?
Yeah.
My father.
Oh.
I wore that for him because in my eyes, I'm like, well, you never got to wear it out here in Spencer County, but I'll wear it for you. I'll carry that on.
58. If your dad was Jack Lambert, that'd be really cool.
He played like, and we actually found some footage of him playing in the day. Ooh.
That's awesome.
But no, yeah, and
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's something that I never knew, and I never would have known.
Yeah, and because we never really sat down and got to know Dakota, and that's why I'm like, dude,
He
we
just showed up, and we were like, all right, man, you got the job. Here
I
you go.
was going to say, because, and I tell people, they're like, how did you get on with these two guys? I'm like, well, first off, these guys are great. I mean, come on, I enjoy being here. But I'm like, I just sent a message one day. I sent a message to Brad. I'm like, hey, can I make a thumbnail for you? And you were like, yeah, but I can't pay you. I'm like, that don't bother me. And boom, Bullitt East. And ever since then, we've been here together.
He walked by one day, and the garage door was open, and he came in, and the rest is history. That's awesome.
So that is get to know the Chopper, man, Dakota Waldridge, man. It's just like I said, it's awesome for you to be on here, man, and just sharing your story.
So now we're talking about the Chopper. You can put a face
Me.
with the name.
And I ain't got big old teeth.
He don't have big teeth. He flies in the Chopper.
Good stuff. Okay, but now let's get back to this podcast and really get serious because we do have a special announcement. We picked up our first official sponsor of the podcast, and it is Summit Sunglasses.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. We just met Logan Hadaway. He just came and brought us some pair of glasses. So we're going to have a segment for Summit Sunglasses, but go to summitsunglasses.com and use the code CLEATS15 for 15% off your order today.
There you go.
But yeah, shout out Summit Sunglasses.
Any day, not just today.
No.
Any day.
Any day.
Any
So,
day.
It's
It's already started. It's live. So go ahead and.
Yep.
And trust me, when you go on their website, you'll be like, wow, they're Louisville guys, Louisville-based company.
Yep.
I mean, what a great partnership. And we even said, and he had the same idea, let's grow together. So, I mean, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
And I think he is too. I mean, till I dropped him and did the
He did the drop test.
The quality control test the minute I got
Hey,
him out of
the funniest thing, he was checking the glasses out and he thought it was a bag, and he literally
It was a sleeve. It went all the way through. I was like, well, they passed the quality control.
Oh,
test.
man, we laughed for like 5 minutes over here, man. But, yeah, so shout out Summit Sunglasses. Logan and Ryan, we appreciate you very much for just
we'll
reaching
put the
out.
website at the bottom in the code.
Yes. Yep. Our graphic design guy, the Chopper, will have everything typed up for you. So, yes, summitsunglasses.com. Go now and use our code.
And help these guys out. They're a young company who's trying to get out. If you know any baseball players, they got some good shades that would work for baseball.
Yes.
So on the beach, I mean, just anything. They got the aviators. So they got some cool looking shades, and give them a shot, man.
We're going to get back into this. Okay, now we got the Attaboy segment. Okay, you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. My Attaboy is Bellarmine Sprint Football. Starting their season 2-0. Shout out Brendan Reed, man. He's a load to bring down, man. And also this weekend they went up to Walsh.
University.
They went up there and beat them 37-0.
Played on Sunday.
Yeah.
I thought they were playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I actually texted Coach Perry. I was like, how'd y'all do? He didn't answer me. Well, now I know why he didn't answer me, because they were right in the middle of a game.
Yes. And shout out Caleb Murray, too. Scoop and score. Yeah. So that defense is flying around. The QB1 is.
Hey, their quarterback is
a dude.
Wow. Yes. He's really, he impresses when we went and watched him practice.
Yeah.
So he's a big kid, got a cannon for an arm.
Yes.
And he's only a freshman.
So shout out Bellarmine. Good stuff, man.
I guess I'll go next for here. My attaboy is going to go to South Oldham. They won the Oldham County title, I guess you can say, with their win over Oldham County, which, that game came down to the wire right there.
Did you guys see the kick?
Yes. Woo.
Never had a doubt. I was 6-1 last week.
Oh, shoot. All right. There we go. Good stuff.
That's good. The Oldham Cup, I think it's what it's called. I know it's the Bullitt Cup, but it's called the Oldham Cup there?
I couldn't find anything that said it. I thought it was
We'll be up there
Cup.
soon, so we need to ask them.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm calling it the Oldham Cup because they won the whole damn thing. Whatever. My attaboy goes to Frederick Douglass, and I want to get this. I want to get my notes so I get this right. They beat Corbin 35-14 last week. That was Corbin's first regular season loss since 9/11/20. And they didn't just beat them. 35-14's a whitewash, and if you're Corbin, that is not going to sit well with them.
No.
And also Nathan McPeak, their head coach, he's getting inducted into Marshall University's Hall of Fame this week. That's really cool. Dude was a stud. He was a stud lineman in college. So, and I tell the story all the time. Yeah, I tell the story all the time. If you ever see the one where Byron Leftwich gets carried down the field, Nathan's one of the dudes that was carrying him. So that's he'll have that story the rest of his life.
The rest of his life.
Really cool. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're hearing the noise in the background,
it's pouring down rain.
Yeah, it's pouring down rain here, man. But hey, the show still goes on, man. We're here. We're out here grinding, man.
We are men of the people.
Yes, we are. But okay, here we go. We got the Summit Sunglass recap game of the week, and we're gonna throw our shades on right now.
Hey, I got some daddies here, man.
There we go. Let's go. I got the Pulse.
And I got the Jet Setters because I
don't even
look
know
like Tom
what am I
Cruise.
called?
You got the Elites
The
Blackout.
Blackouts.
Yes, so man, these are comfortable. They're durable. So make sure you go to summitsunglasses.com and use code Cleats15. Yes, so let's go, baby. So okay, now this game is Holy Cross at Atherton.
I'm gonna let you start.
Okay,
let you start everything this week. How about that?
Okay, there we go. You know what?
Let's reverse it up. Change our fortune up a little bit.
There we go. We got some dudes that were on the field. Okay, we got Jerick Hoover, Michael Curry Jr., Jeremiah Parker, Aiden DeWeese. Dude, we had the stars were out, man, for the game of the week, and it was phenomenal. Hoover is a dude. He's QB1 for Holy Cross. That kid impressed me so much. Stood in the pocket. He took a beating too.
Yeah. Do you know what? Go ahead. I was his pocket presence was unbelievable for a freshman.
Phenomenal. And also Michael Curry Jr.
What can you say about that?
Just a dude. He had like 50 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. Just the kid's an animal. Jeremiah Parker, just doing what he does, man. Wrecking. It's just a wrecking ball. And also, man, that back 7 is really, really good for Holy Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really good. That whole defense is
they're young too.
Scary good.
Holy Cross is really young.
Yeah.
They've got I think he said 7 or 8 15-year-olds playing significant amount of time.
Yep.
That's huge.
That's huge.
And I was going to say, wouldn't you say that's kind of the scary thing? If you got to think about Holy Cross in the future, these guys are so young and getting tested.
Futures. I said it and I posted. I said the future's bright on the highway because those dudes are going to be good for 2 or 3 years.
They're going to be really good. Yeah. Okay, the only downside was Atherton didn't shake their hand at the end. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me.
We don't know all the details.
Right. You battled for 48 minutes, man. Once that hit 0-0-0, man, just go and show some love and just be cool with it. But yeah, there was a lot. Temperature was high in that game.
Well, let's be honest. You may have the 2 biggest competitors in the county between Nino and Eric. I mean, Eric does not like to lose. I don't care. And he said going into the game, I talked to him. We talked to him after the game.
Yeah.
They knew they were outmatched. They knew that Atherton had more dudes. They knew that they were more physical, more athletic. So they knew. And I tell you what, they had 2 come back? Holy Cross?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Atherton. I'm not saying Holy Cross should have won that game, but it was closer, I think, than the score.
The scoreboard, yes,
so, yeah.
It was way closer than
Atherton. There's no doubt in my mind they play that game 10 times. Atherton should win 10 times.
Right.
It's just where the programs are right now. But Atherton like I said, outduted them. They had more dudes. Yep. Holy Cross's dudes are young. That's the difference. That's the difference. Watch out, man. Those dudes, I'm telling you. I may have been 1 year early on my top 5 prediction for Holy Cross, but it's coming.
Yeah, they do. It was just you know what I mean. Yeah. Like you said, the scoreboard said what it said, but that game was actually physical ball game, man. It was good.
Yeah.
Give your breakdown.
I was gonna say, I mean, y'all basically hit all the highlights. Like, both teams showed me good things in this game. It wasn't like there was anything I was like, oh, that's bad. I mean, there was penalties in the game and everything, which I think every team always tries to clean up each and every single week. That's going to happen. But no, I think both teams really showed, like, when they play their brand of football, they're a hard team to stop, both Holy Cross and Atherton, which for one of our games that we'll have to pick, it makes it interesting for me to try to choose between, but we'll get to there in a little bit.
Well, and Brad and I saw Coach Dick after the game, and I told him, and Brad agreed, That game helps Atherton.
Yes.
But it really helps Holy Cross. Because Holy Cross is not going to play a team that good the rest of the way. Not in 1A. There's no chance. Atherton's the best team they've played all year, and probably the best team unless they go to the semi or the
Right.
finals.
Yeah,
that's the best
like a
team.
Pikeville
So
or
that's going to
something.
help them. And I know at the time they were mad because they thought they should have had a better showing, but they had nothing to be ashamed of. They fought hard, and like we said, they're not going to give up. They're lunch pail kids. They fought hard all the way to the end, and the kids were hanging their head. That to me shows a lot. The kids were disappointed. They could have went. It's like the old Trinity thing where you go play Trinity, and everybody in the world knows you're going to lose to them.
Right.
So you go in there and you lose, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. They were legitimately had their feelings hurt because they thought they should have competed a little better.
Right.
And that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Render boys, they came off. They were fired up, dude.
Oh, yeah.
When they walked up, they weren't frustrated. They just thought they put it on the field. I should just say
They left it all out
Yeah.
there, but they thought that they could have done more.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's great. Good
Yep.
for them.
Yep.
Good for them.
So that was Summit Sunglasses game of the week recap. Man,
I
go
gotta take those off. I can't. I gotta have my readers on. I can't see my notes.
go to summitsunglasses.com and use our code cleats15 to get 15% off your order. So man, good stuff, man. How'd you like your shades?
I love them.
Let's go. Let's get into these pick six games, fellas.
Let's do it.
Let's
right.
do it. Okay, the first game we got, Scott County at Collins.
So I'll give you the stats, and I'll let one of y'all go. But right now, RPI, Scott County's actually 17, which really surprised me. You think that's too low for them? Their schedule's been really good.
It's been,
And
brutal.
Collins is
I was gonna say.
25. That surprised me. But, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Last season, Scott County won 56-26. Scott County's 2-3. Collins is 3-2. Pretty evenly. I looked at their schedules. So Scott County's played Franklin County, Great Crossing, Urbana, Illinois, Boyle County, and Madison Central. That's a pretty tough schedule.
Pretty tough.
And Collins beat Shelby County, Spencer County. They lost. They beat Dunbar. They lost to Oldham County, and they beat Fairdale. So I would give the edge to Scott County
For the
as far as
schedule-wise.
So,
Yes, I agree.
you go ahead. And
I agree with
that's
that.
Just the meat and bones of the game.
Yeah, this game's going to be fun because it's two different styles.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You got one that's pass happy,
Totally drastic.
and then you got one that just slugs it out.
This is the North Pole versus the South Pole. It really is. They're not even close to the styles.
Yeah, they're not.
Go
But
ahead, man.
Kay Gooden is in the top 50, right?
Yep.
1,121 yards passing. Okay, Scott County team rushing is 49, top in the top 50 at 49.
221 yards a game.
221 with 1,104 yards of rushing yards.
Against very good defenses, too, like you were saying earlier.
Very good.
They're very good defenses.
Very good defense. They had a huge showing against Boyle in the first half, so that's very impressive. Yeah. Spencer County beat Collins, but that game was a slugfest too as well.
Yeah, no, that game was really a back and forth the whole time. Of course, part of that I think leads into the fact that it's a rivalry game, at least for Spencer County, so they're not going to want anything to go away. But again, this will be the second time Collins sees a wing T offense because they've already played Spencer County.
A little different.
Yeah, it's a little
different.
different. And that's what I was getting ready to say. But, they'll have like the framework, I guess you can say, to be like, hey, this is what happened in the last game. We really need to shore this up. Otherwise, we'll lose again like last time. But, I'm going to go ahead and I'll make my pick. I think Scott County will come out with a victory on this one. I think getting that win over Madison Southern, right? Madison Central, forgive me.
Sorry.
Is really like a big momentum gainer for them. And Collins is good, but I was going to say, for me, a big thing that spoke about Scott County was that first half against Boyle County. Because I remember some people are like, the rumors of Scott County dead are false because they were in that and fighting with them in the first half. And I think Scott County can continue that process and do it here against Collins.
There you go. Collins is not in the top 50 for team defense for the rush, okay? Scott County is not in the top 50 for the pass offense. So on their defense. So I'm just trying to find something, and I believe you with the Scott County and Boyle. They showed up. They showed out. I think it's different. I think Collins actually gets this win because I think they faced Spencer County earlier. So I think they're going to have the game plan to really stop that run. There we go.
I disagree, and I'm going to tell you why. Collins, first game won, second game lost, first game won, third game lost, fifth game won. It's time for a loss. They literally won every other game.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, the teams they should have beat, they beat. The teams that were on par or maybe even a little better, they lost to. And in my notes here, I put Collins' passing attack versus Scott's passing D, and I put Scott's rushing versus Collins' rushing D. Mm-hmm. So something's got to give.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Scott County, I've talked to him a few times. He's liking the direction they're going. Come district time, they're going to be really tough. I think.
As you say, isn't this a district match?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
He said that come district time, they're going to be ready. I like Scott County, and I don't think it's as close as you think it's going to be. I think Scott County, when they get rolling, they're like Spencer County. When they get rolling and they get that run game going, it's hard. They're going to keep Cade off the field, too, because they're going to rush a lot. The clock's going to be winding. I'm just putting it out there. I think Collins is a great team. I love Cade Gooden. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the state. But I think Scott County wins this one.
There we go. So that's that game. So we go to game 2, and that is North Bullitt at Seneca.
So this one's a little weird too. They're both RPI 22, but they're both 3-2. Last season, Seneca won 42-21. So, and I looked at the schedule. North Bullitt's played Holy Cross, Scott, Bullitt East, East Jessamine, Bullitt Central. Really only one, Holy Cross game. That was early. Seneca has played DeSales, Western, Doss, Du Bois, and Butler.
Yeah, I agree.
North Bullitt's got the edge on who they've played so far, and that's why the RPI's really was kind of weird. They're like, if you look at the go of the KHSA and look at their stats, they're like right behind each other on everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's really crazy.
It's weird.
It's really weird.
This is a district game, too, as well.
This is a district game. This is a big game.
This is huge for both teams.
So, and Seneca was 1-2 in a row. I mean, we were skeptical on how they would respond. They've won 2-0 and pretty good defensive showing in both games. So you want to go ahead, or you want me?
Yeah,
to
no.
Go ahead.
I think it's huge. I think it's for the district game. I think this is the leg up. Especially if they can, if North or each of them can get a win on each other. I think these two will be, at the end will be pretty tight with it. But I went and seen Seneca, and man, I really like them. I really like their two outside guys, their X and their Z. Man, those guys can, like I said earlier on like last week, I told you guys, they can jump ball with anybody. They're long, they're lanky, they're athletic. They're ball hawks. Their defense, their front is really nice. Man, this is gonna be a close game. But give me some of yours because I'm still flip flopping on this game.
No, I'm right there with you because I look at it. One thing that really stands out for me is like Seneca's got a decent passing attack with them. And the last time North Bullitt faced any team that had a big passing attack like that, I'd say is Bullitt East. I know Bullitt Central throws, but we know Bullitt East is more of that like throw heavy team.
Right.
And so for me, I'm like, if North Bullitt's going to stay in this, they've got to take Spiker, which he is healthy for this, right? Or
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't.
That doesn't make this easy.
Exactly. We don't know.
I tried to find out, but I don't know.
Whew. Because I'm thinking if, you can get Spiker in here, because in my belief, the way you win these 4 areas, you win the football game. Time of possession, turnovers, penalties, special teams. You win those 4 areas, you're more than likely going to win. And the best way to keep a high-powered offense or an offense that can move the ball is to keep them on the sideline. This one's real hard. It should be a good game. Wouldn't surprise me to see it both be close, but I'm going to go North Bullitt. It may sound crazy, but I'm going to go North Bullitt on this one. If Spiker's in there, because if they can get that ball rolling downhill, now granted, Seneca's got a good good guys on the
Seneca's
front.
pretty good size up front too.
I was
Yeah, they're
gonna
good
say,
size.
good size up front. But I think if North Bullitt can get it rolling and play their game, they might be able to edge this out over the top. But it's going to be close. I won't be surprised if I get this one wrong. I'll say it that way. Like if I see the score and I get this wrong, it's like, well, that could have gone either way.
Okay, and I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go Seneca just because it's at home. I think Coach Davison got them buying in finally, and just I think they're peaking at the right time. Plus his district game. Man, I'm going Seneca.
Yeah, I can't fault it.
I like it. I like both y'all's arguments. And Coach Davis forbid me to pick them this week because he said they're 3-0. Me picking against them.
Oh shoot!
So what's that mean?
I've got 2 points that I want to. Can Seneca's defense be better than North O? That's the key to the game.
Yeah.
Can they keep them from rolling downhill and just running over them time of possession, like you said? And let's talk about the elephant in the room. North's got a new coach.
Yep.
Coach Carbello is not there anymore. How did these kids respond?
Well, they
responded last
yes.
week, but Bullitt Central's bad.
They're bad, but they got that win.
They lost to East Jessamine and they lost to Bullitt. What I'm saying is that get a little adversity. If Seneca jumps out on them, how do they respond? I think Seneca's D is up for the task. I think this is a close game. I think this is one score at the most.
That's why I said this game was so hard to pick because it's going to be.
I think Seneca wins this one. I think Seneca's D stands up. I don't think this is low scoring as you think. I'm thinking in the 20s.
Yeah.
But I think Seneca wins this game. Sorry, Coach. I'm going with you this week. I think Seneca wins.
Man, damn, that was a good breakdown, fellas.
Well, no, come Friday night.
Okay, the next game is Ballard at Tates Creek.
It was Tates Creek at Ballard.
Nope.
Is it? It's at Tates Creek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, that changes my No, it don't. Go ahead. So, Tates Creek RPI 20, Ballard 21. Last season, Ballard won 42-6. Ballard's 2-3, Tates Creek's 2-3. This game is really
It's a battle of the 500s. Who's going to get to 500 this week?
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give, yeah.
And if you really look at the stats, they're really close except for one stat. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
How many passing yards a game? Tates Creek's given up almost 200. Ballard's only given up 98. To me, that says a lot.
That's saying something.
Yep.
So, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was looking at their schedules, and it's funny. Both these teams have actually played against somebody. Yeah, you already know who I'm going with here. Both teams have played Bryan Station.
And they both
And it was
lost.
both at Bryan Station.
Yeah.
So I think that's, it's like, okay, this is both an away game for them. But I
So
think
who's got the edge on schedule? I think Ballard definitely does.
Oh, Ballard,
South Warren,
100%.
Mayo, PRP, Bryan Station, Great Crossing, or
George Rogers Clark.
Clark, I'm sorry. And Tates Creek, Eastern, Madison Southern, North Oldham, Frederick Douglass, Bryan Station.
Yeah,
I think Ballard's got the edge.
Yeah, Ballard, I think, has the edge in this. But
Yeah.
I was going to say, in the Bryan Station game, Ballard lost 17-10. So it was a dogfight. Tates Creek, meanwhile, lost 0-42.
Yeah. They're giving up 36.8 points a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say I had this. Ballard's last 3 games, though, was PRP, Bryan Station, George Rogers Clark. Okay. And that's a tough schedule.
No,
but
it's really not.
But,
PRP
but
's
no,
not
that's not a tough schedule. Sorry, I meant to say.
Yeah.
But Tates Creek last 3, North Oldham, Frederick Douglass, and Bryan Station. They've been tested,
But they got slaughtered.
but they got manhandled.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Ballard's schedule hasn't been that tough. They got manhandled by Mayo. Right before they played PRP.
the South Warren game was pretty close, right?
Yeah. No.
24-0.
Yeah,
it was.
24-0.
Okay.
24-0.
Okay.
Yeah. But man,
And this is one of the teams we were really high on at the beginning of the year.
I know.
We really thought their defense would stand up, and they're giving up 20 points a game, almost 21. That's not an elite defense.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But Tates Creek is giving up what, 36?
30, almost 37.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna
almost.
say.
Yeah, almost. 30.
Definitely not elite.
No,
But Ballard's only scoring 16 points a game.
that was.
Tates Creek scoring 25. I mean, if you go strictly by stats, Tates Creek should win by
On paper,
touchdowns.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we don't play the game on paper.
Yeah.
There you go. Chew on that while you're giving your pick.
Man, this is going to be close. Can Ballard shut down Brian Evans Jr.? He's number 35. He's a top 50 guy in the running back. You know what I mean? So he's rushing. I don't know. Do you got Ballard's defense on the rush?
What do you mean?
How good are they on stopping the run?
They're giving up 144 yards a game.
Yeah.
See, and that's my question. That's what I'm scared about. Them going on the road to Tates Creek. Man, I say, but this is what I say Ballard close.
Well, let me tell you, it's another sneaky stat. Ballard's defense has given up 255 all yards a game.
Parker, yeah.
Tates Creek has given up 300 yards.
I seen that. I didn't put in my note. I knew somebody was going to have it.
I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty a defining stat in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So did you?
No, I'm a Coach King guy. You guys already know that, man.
You're rolling Ballard?
I'm rolling Ballard, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm right there with you too. I'm a roll Ballard with this one too. I think because this is also district play with these guys, right? Or is this one not district play? I can't remember. No, this is not district play. This is right before.
Ballard starts next week.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
So, but I think Coach King is going to get these guys right, and I think he'll use this game to really get them going. Because right after this, they play Trinity, Oldham County, Eastern, and then Woodford County. So the schedule doesn't get easier for Ballard after this. But I definitely believe Ballard will come out of this, and I believe I'll bet and say they actually run the ball very effectively against Tates Creek in that defense of theirs. I favor Ballard, and it'll be close, but I think there's a 2 touchdown difference in this one.
There we go.
Nice.
He does that, and it makes me nervous because
Nice.
I feel like I'm being
Nice.
judged.
No, I agree. And here's I've got 3 points I wrote down for this game. Ballard's kind of getting right. They had 2 very tough opponents week 1 and 2, South Warren and Mayo.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody could go 0-2 against those dudes.
Yeah.
They're kind of getting right. They've kind of righted the ship. They're playing a little better. Their defense is improving. Check the scores, and their numbers have actually gone down a little since the first 2 games.
Right.
To me, the difference is Tates Creek's just giving up way too much as far as defensively. I mean, Ballard should get right offensively this week. I think they win, and I don't think 2 scores is enough. I think it's more like 3 or 4 scores. I think Ballard asserts their dominance this week on both sides of the ball, kind of pulls away late, gets out of there with a win, and gets ready for the real meat of their schedule.
I agree, and like you said, I think they're gonna. This is gonna help them flip that switch on and really get into, like you said, that the meat of the schedule.
Or they lose this game. Woo.
Oh, that's true as well.
Yeah, they've got to get right this week. This is a get right week for Ballard, and I agree. I think they get right.
I agree. You agree?
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%.
Go. Okay, now this game right here is going to be a monster game. This is Oldham County at Atherton.
Both 4-1. Atherton's number 3 in the RPI 5A. Oldham County's number 9 6A. Atherton won by 10 last year, 34-24.
Yeah, and
Atherton was very dominant last year.
Yeah.
Well, Oldham was up though on that game though.
Yes, and Oldham wasn't. If you really look at it, Oldham wasn't that good last year.
No,
they were kind of so they played them very well.
Yeah.
It was at Oldham County. That's the big thing,
right?
And I looked at their schedules. Atherton's schedule, other than Woodford County, is really bad.
They haven't played no.
And that's what shocks me. They're number 3 in the RPI.
Right.
Yeah.
But, Oldham County, Henry Clay, Shelby County, Fern Creek, Collins, they lost to South Oldham. Probably, what I'm hearing, should have won that game maybe.
Yeah, there were some things at the end.
They didn't, so that's all that matters. To me, this one, the stats really got me on this one. Atherton's given up 22 points a game against that schedule. Oldham County's only given up 15. I'm a stats guy. Of course, Atherton's rushing for 200 a game. Oldham's only giving up 85. So something's got to give.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and I said this game is coming down to Michael Curry Jr., Jaden Corum, okay, and then the QBs have to play really well. Quayshawn Thompson, Derek Dees, these guys are playing really well right now.
Yeah.
Thompson just came back from an injury, so I think that's what's firing him up. I think he missed that Wolford County game, and I think it really fired him up because he wasn't in that game.
Yeah, I was trying to look up did I give the last year? Yeah, they only won by 10.
But that's what was crazy though. Last year, OC was actually up on them. They had to come back to win that game. So that's something, and they're not going to forget that.
No.
This
OC.
is definitely the toughest game left on Atherton's schedule.
I was going to say, I was asking you
Not
this
even
question
close.
because they are third in RPI. If they win this game, Oldham County being a 6A school, ninth in their RPI, this will really help Atherton come playoff time to where maybe Owensboro or one of them may have to.
The rest of their schedule is going to kill them.
Yeah, but
Bairdale's awful. Iroquois is awful.
Yeah.
Butler's awful.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
this game for them,
They're
their
going to
RPI,
get there, but they're going to drop. They'll probably be top 10 maybe at the end, but they're not going to stay at 3 the rest of the year.
No, but I was going to say they need to win this game though if
Yeah,
they want to maybe get a bounce to
Yeah,
them instead of them going somewhere.
If they want to
else.
host week 3 at Atherton, they've got to win this game.
Yeah, this game has a
It's a
lot
big
of
6A.
importance.
So
opponent.
it's a huge
6A
game.
opponent. Oh, absolutely. You don't want to go to Owensboro or
Bowling Green.
Green or whoever. You
Right.
want them to come to you just like last year.
Oh man, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good game. Last 3 weeks, OC's played Fern Creek, Collins, South Oldham.
And been in dogfights in each and every single one of them.
Yes, Atherton's last 3 was Wolford County, Dawson, Holy Cross. I'm giving that.
Oldham's definitely battle tested.
Yes, they're battle tested, so that's why I'm leaning towards OC right now. But man, I really need to hear you guys too as well and what you guys got because man, I'm telling you that this is going to be tough, man. I love Michael Curry Jr. Man, he's just a freaking monster.
Oh, yeah.
You give him a slight of green, he's gone. But then right there, Jaden Corum just had one of the best weeks a couple weeks ago with almost 400 yards of offense just by himself.
I was going to say, right now, Corum is averaging about 120 yards a game, and Curry's averaging about 100 yards a game. So, I mean, both running backs, like you're saying, you give them a little bit of shine, they're gone before you even know it. So, part of me thinks this is going to come down to who can stop the run better. And I won't lie, I'm leaning more Oldham County on that because they have been so battle-tested and have faced, they were able to kind of calm Collins and Cade Gooden down. They did a great job against South Oldham. They were leading for a good chunk of it till I think halftime when it got tied 14-14 I believe at that point. And I was impressed with how they ran against South Oldham because South Oldham's defense has been very good.
Very good.
Against the run. So for that reason, I think Oldham County's defense has showed to me if you have athletes, it will be a challenge, but we will do everything we can to stop you, and we sometimes will. So I'm going to go Oldham County on this one.
Ooh, okay. And when we said this in the beginning of the game last week, Atherton has to come out fast. I think they got to come out, smack them in the mouth, see how they react. But man, this defense is really, really good for OC. I'm leaning towards OC. I've been leaning towards OC all day, and then you saying that too. I think I'm going Oldham County, just because I think they're pissed off. They lost last week by that field goal, and they thought they should have won that game. They should be 5-0 going into this game, and they remember what happened last year, and I think they get the revenge. I think it's a revenge tour for OC.
Mm-hmm.
Great job, guys. Yeah, that's high quality stuff there. Here's my biggest question of this game. Can Atherton's D finally show up? Let's be honest. Jerry worked under me. I know Jerry like the back of my hand. 22 points a game is not up to his standard. It's not up to Nino's standard. They're having some issues with, I think, the back end of the secondary. But that's not going to play into that much this. I mean, yeah, Oldham County's 177 passing yards a game, but
That's
both these teams are going to run the ball this week.
They're going to run the ball, but I think if you're cheating up,
I agree.
Something's going to happen, man.
agree.
They got that big. I don't know if he's a tight end or I don't know if he's a receiver, but he's like 6'5", and he's a dude, man.
And can Oldham County's D stay tough against the run this week? They've not played I don't care who's on their schedule. They haven't seen a rushing attack.
Yeah,
like
they
this
haven't seen
yet.
like a true.
This is a two-headed monster, and if Q gets on the outside running, a three-headed monster. Both you guys made some great points. Now, I actually agree. I think Oldham County wins this game. I think Atherton still got some bugs to work out. I think they will eventually. They're going to get right the next 5 weeks. I just think like you said, Oldham County's a revenge tour. I think Oldham County wins this game. I don't think it's what you think it is. What do you think? One score?
I think it's less than one. Yeah, well, I guess I could say it's less than 3 points.
Less than 3.
I think it's less than 3.
What do you think?
Oldham County, the opposite of last year by 10.
That's what I think.
Really? You guys think that?
I wrote down 31-21.
Wow. I like it, man.
I like it, and I can see it going there.
I've called Atherton out all year. Those are my guys. I've got 3 dudes on that staff. I've called them out all year. They've done enough to win, but I don't think they're playing up to their standard. Like I said, Coach Long, I will guarantee if you back him in the corner, he's not happy. You could tell by the way Nino's been strolling up and down the sideline. He's not happy.
Yeah.
They got some things they've got to fix. Now, they could lose this game and they're still going to win that district. They're still going to host 2 playoff games. They're still going to place somebody really good in the 3rd round. Does this help them? Yes. RPI, this is a huge game for Atherton. This is a huge game for Oldham County because this is a good win for Oldham County.
Exactly. Yeah.
As far as RPI. This is a huge game.
Oh, yeah.
They're one's 5A, one's 6A. This is a huge game. This game matters for 3rd round for both these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you went and seen these guys at the Doss game. And they knew they were going to beat Doss. So the mental fortitude that they had.
Okay.
You knew they were going to beat Holy Cross as well.
So the one game they thought that they were maybe not as good as the other team, they got their doors blown off.
Exactly.
It's a mental thing. And I said it before the year. I don't care if anybody's mad at me or not. I said this team is not mentally what the team was last year. The team last year had the dog mentality where they wanted to shut you out. They wanted to embarrass you. They wanted to make you not ever want to come back and play them again. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this team is there yet. I think this is going to be a tough game. It's at Atherton.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't think Oldham County cares. I really don't. I think this is a revenge tour. I think they win.
I was getting ready to say, I saw, I was reading the Oldham County paper a little bit, and they had an excerpt in there from Sean Little talking about this game coming up, and he's like, yeah, we'll game plan for Atherton and be ready for them, but for me this whole week, it's worry about our guys and what we do. If we do what we do, we should win. And I think he'll definitely have them in a good mindset.
And I think it's fair Nino would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think
that's not bulletin board material by any means.
No.
That's just him telling it like it is. And Atherton the same way. If Atherton does what they do, they feel like they should win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Agree. We all went OC on this one, though, baby. Let's go. Ooh. Okay, now we got the monster of a monster game, and this is Cal at Manual. Okay, give us some of the stats.
Cal's 3-2, Manual's 5-0. Cal's number 2 RPI overall.
Yeah.
Cal Steele's number 6. Listen to their schedules. This is really interesting, their schedules. Cal beat Owensboro, Heritage Hills, Indiana, North Hardin, Lexington Christian they lost, Ryle they lost. First time they lost 2 games since 2020?
Yeah.
2020.
Yep. When's the last time they lost 3 in a row?
I got it right here, 2019. That was Cantwell's first year. But, of course, the teams they lost to was Ballard, Boyle County, Mercer County. So, 3 great teams.
Manual schedule, they beat Central, they beat Central Hardin, they beat Frederick Douglass, they beat Eastern, they beat South Warren. I think Manual's definitely got the edge on the schedule. We said that coming in, Manual's schedule all year. It's just they don't get many breaks. They got a little break against Eastern, but they don't get many breaks.
And they won't get one after this week either.
Made me choke on that. Last year, Cal won 54-36. It's fair to say this is not last year's Manual.
No, this is. Do you think they? You know what I mean? Do you think they remember that? This is Eckloff's. This is. Eckloff wasn't there, but those kids know.
Yeah, Manual's players have been talking about it all week. I've seen them tweeting, twerping a little bit on Twitter.
Right.
They are very much aware. This is the get back game.
Well, and they're not cocky,
Yes,
man.
they're cocky.
They're
Cocky
confident.
and
No,
confident.
they're confident bunch, man. And
They
like I
talk.
told you, this is my favorite team in the city right
Oh,
now.
I love it. But there again, Manual's players have been on me saying, you better not pick us this week because we're doing pretty damn good with you picking against us. So
Yeah, with that huge statement with going to South Warren and beating South Warren the way they did.
convincingly.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna give you my pick. I'm rolling with Manual. I just like that team. Eckloff got them rolling. Man, they're just scary good. Plus the Crimson Crazies, man, show up, show out, because I know that place is gonna be freaking electric, man.
No, I was just this is a game. It's interesting. If you had told me about this game at the start of the year, I would have been like, yeah, I'll pick Cal and just leave it be there because I figured that's how it'd be. But it is interesting. Cal Connor Hodge is right now, I believe, number 4th in the state for passing right now. And who's his receiver? That's right there. Oh, Darwin Cotton
Cotton's
now
a dude.
is the 4th in receiving right now. So I'm trying to think. All right, can Manual's defense really stop the passing game? Because that's, I think, where this big question is going to be. And I just say, so how many yards have they been stopping here? I've got the total yards. They've only allowed,
Yes,
this
they
says
can.
389 yards right now. This defense for Manual has honestly been very impressive for me. But I'm like you because I've picked against Manual each and every single time, and they've proved me time and time again that I'm wrong. You go first. I want to see what you pick, and then
You know, and I told you
right.
when we went to that 5-way, and we seen Manual in that scrimmage. They were just impressive, man. And it's weird how it just clicked for Eckloff in that group of kids, man. That's why I said I can't go against Manual right now.
Well, I agree, but I can and I will go against Manual. I think Cal wins this game. And here's my question. Cal's not going to lose 3 in a row. I said they weren't going to lose 2 in a row. And can Manual's defense stop that Cal's offense? Cal's offense is very prolific. I mean, even in their losses, they're putting up some numbers. I mean, they're throwing for almost 300 yards a game, and they're rushing for 150-ish, 143.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's over almost 400 yards a game of total offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty damn good. Of course, Manual's defense, they're only giving up 150 yards total. Something's got to give, like I said. I'm not going to let my guys at Manual down. I'm picking against them again this week. I think Cal wins. I think either way, whoever wins this game, I think it's going to be a classic. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be similar to the Frederick Douglass game as far as total at the end of the game.
Okay, I agree.
Maybe even an overtime game. I think it's that good. I think both these teams are very similar. It's really weird. Cal's defense, I don't think, is quite as good as Manual's, but Cal's offense is really good. Manual's offense isn't really as good as Cal's, but their defense is really good.
And that's
So something's going to have to give this week. Can Manual stop Cal's offense? I think that staff is just – they've got it. I don't think they lose 3 in a row. I'm picking against my guys for Manual, no offense, but it's worked so far. They're 5-0. I'm going Cal this week.
Yeah, and that was one of my things was that D line's playing really well. The trenches are really what's shining on that Manual team.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say another thing, because I do think this game is going to come down to Cal's offense and Manual's defense. I think this is where the battle will be won or lost. But something that I think Manual can do to help out their defense be even more fresh and ready for the battle, they rush the ball 68% of the time. Connor Hodge can't do a whole lot if he's on the sideline. Well, actually, he plays DB, but you get what I mean. Like,
Technically, he can because he'll be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, he can't attack you through the air if he's on the sideline, figuratively in this case, if your offense is out there running and going nonstop.
It's a good point.
That's a really good point. Trainer's a dude, man.
And I was just getting ready to say, Trainer, they have been running the ball very well against, some very
He's
good
a little.
defenses.
We said that one. He's a little dude. He's not a big, imposing body.
No.
Can he stand up against for the long haul? So far, yes.
Yeah.
I just say,
If they can get him rest with that other running back they have, so hopefully they're putting him in there.
I think the question this week is Manuel's quarterback.
To me, it's the O-line.
It is, but does Cal sell out and stop the run and make that quarterback beat him?
Yeah, that's a great answer.
If that's the
or
case,
great question.
It makes me still feel confident in my pick because I'm going to go Manuel in this because he showed that he could pass against a good defense in Frederick Douglass. So I feel like if they force him to pass, Mac will be okay with it and he'll dump off to who he needs to, and it's going to be a close game. I have no doubt this game is going to be like maybe overtime or something of that nature. But you kind of have to ride the hot hand right now, and I like Manuel with this.
Yeah, I love it. Let's go. Keep picking against my boys, man.
Hey, they literally threatened me and said, do not pick them the rest of the year.
Okay, game of the week, team of the week. Doss Dragons is the team of the week. The game of the week is J-Town visiting Doss. We will be there Friday, and I apologize for the last live stream that we did. Like I said, we're at mercy of our location. Atherton is not the greatest spot to go live in, but we still went, but I want to apologize for that before we even start this game of the week.
I'm mad I didn't get Jack Harlow's autograph. He kept walking through there. This is really interesting to me when I really dove into it. You know, J-Town's 4-1, Doss is 3-2, but Doss's RPI is 16, J-Town's 28.
28.
Ooh.
J-Town won 50-20 last year. This is one of those receipts that Paul was keeping.
Yep.
Don't make any mistake that this is one that he had circled, which, whatever. But listen to J-Town's schedule. And let me tell you let me see who you think. Iroquois, Shawnee, Breckenridge County, Holy Cross, and Wagner.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, nothing jumps off at you.
I agree.
No offense to any of those guys. Holy Cross is the best team they played all year.
And they got shut out.
They got shut out.
Yeah.
Doss's schedules, Southern, Bethlehem, Seneca, Doss, and Western. Not a whole. I'm Doss.
Atherton,
I'm sorry. They got the edge because they played Atherton. But Southern, Bethlehem, Seneca, Western, I think Doss has got the edge in that.
I do. I agree.
It's being battle tested.
Yeah.
They got some funky stats.
Yeah.
I mean, J-Town's only giving up 4 yards passing per game. Got a lot to do with their schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't think Iroquois has completed a pass in 5 years. I don't know. I mean, it's bad. Doss is giving up more points than they're scoring. So
that's weird.
Yes. Weird. This is a weird game.
It's a weird game.
This is really a weird game. This is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay, so if you don't know, Dante Ellison, episode 1 of the whole entire podcast, man, it was great. So if you haven't seen that one, make sure you go and watch the J-Town episodes, man. But they got one key loss from last season's team, and it is LaRon Westmoreland. He moved to Florida, and that's a huge loss for those guys, man. But they still got Shirley. They got Smith. They got Raymond Cornish. They got some dudes.
Yes, they do, and don't call me Shirley.
They got Jaden Porter, LeDedrick Washington, Adrian Eatman.
I'm very familiar with LeDedrick Washington. He played for me at Fairdale last year.
Well, see, and these guys, they have like a stat guy of the game, and these guys are all the stat guys. So that they're 4-1. They got dudes there. Shirley, I think, and Smith, they're gonna have to lean on. It's just a weird game, man.
I don't think we've seen the real J-Town yet.
I don't think so either.
The schedule's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get up for those games. The Holy Cross, and I think that was an anomaly. I really do. They're not going to get shut out again.
I was going to say, I think in that game they had like 5 fumbles that game or something crazy.
But they got to face our guy, Jordan Robertson.
Ooh.
This kid will be like Marshawn Lynch. He'll run through your face.
When we walked on the field last week, was it last week? Yeah, Dawson Western game.
Yeah.
What did I tell their coaches? I said, feed the stud. Give that kid the ball 30 times.
Yep.
He got, 25 carries for 236
or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple fumbles.
Yes, and that was what we were
That's
talking
what we
about.
talked about. He's
Right,
got to tuck the ball away. I literally, before we walked off
Yes.
the field, I said he's got to tuck the ball away. And what did he do the first drive?
Yeah.
Was it the first drive?
First drive.
He fumbled.
Yeah. It was crazy because it was just like right when coach was talking about, right when we went off, they got the ball and then boom, it hit the ground.
But you know what? I'm going to give that a pass because of who they were playing. They were playing Western. They knew they were going to beat Western.
So you're talking about the mental part.
Mental. They barely. What was the finals? 20-7,
20-8 or something like that.
I don't think that is any indication of how that game should have went.
You know, and it's fluky too because it was on a Thursday. It was a short week. It was just weird that the Western coaches just found out on Tuesday that they were playing Thursday. So it was just it was a weird thing that happened. But that's my key. They got to stop that dude. But another key too is can J-Town be mentally tough? You know, Doss is going to talk. You know, we got our guy McFadden. You know what I mean? He loves to talk, man.
Will not shut up.
Will not shut up. But will he get into their heads? It's going to be a mental war over there. And just like at the schools, you know what I mean? Doss, J-Town, Western, Shawnee, you know, they're talkers. Can they mentally stay in this game and not get a personal foul at a bad spot?
I think that's one of those things you can't really tell till you actually get there for the game day. And because then, I mean, we saw a little bit in the video from the live stream last week. What are the refs going to do half the time when it comes to that stuff? Some refs are very, sticklers on it. If they hear anything, they'll flag. Then others, they just let it go.
How many sideline warnings did we have?
Yeah, we had what?
7?
7 total.
Yeah, and what is it? After the second one's supposed to be a 5-yard penalty,
Yeah.
so it's like,
And they didn't switch in the second half. The referees didn't switch sides.
Yeah.
That was a weird. That was
a weird game. We had a fan get ejected
yeah.
for asking the referee what his name was.
Oh, well, hey, get back on the game of the week, man.
This is the game of the week.
Yeah.
No, I know, but you were talking about
Referees are terrible. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
the official. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So the one thing that stood out to me, we were talking about Jordan Robertson. He's got 88 carries right now for 602 yards and 7 touchdowns. The man's just been, like you said, bulldozing and just running through people right now. Now, granted, it is a little fluky with the Holy Cross J-Town game because there was like 5 or some odd amount of fumbles for J-Town. But the big star in that game was Pennebaker, who was also, I think he ran for that game. It was like 200 and some odd yards, I believe, and 2 or maybe 3 touchdowns.
I don't doubt that.
He's a dog, man.
So my question is this going to be a repeat of that? Now, I don't think J-Town will fumble the ball nearly as much.
You never know. It's supposed to rain, right? Supposed to rain early?
Rain before the game, so the field will be wet. And Dawson's on a natural field, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because during game time, from what Jay Cardosi told me, it's supposed to be dry, but he'll know more come Thursday. But I think
Mark with a C says it's good to go Friday night. Good to go.
it should be good, but Thursday he'll know for sure. But the point I was going to make, with a wet ground, I've always been a fan of more running heavy. But, I mean, J-Town's got 2
and
running
Leo
backs, too.
Lededrick Washington, he's a dude. He
Exactly.
can run. And he hadn't been playing a whole lot. He's been, I think he just got eligible maybe.
I
Because he
think, yeah.
transferred, and that's an unknown at this game.
Yeah.
Yo,
And I was going to say, it's interesting. I think the ground and pound will be the more important thing. And so it's like, for me, which team can establish that and get through it first compared to the other? It's a hard one.
We looking at my notes. I agree. This is a weird game.
weird game.
I'm going to lean J-Town on this one. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I know, don't kill me, please. But I think they've got Jordan Robertson, a stud, and I believe he'll go big for this game like Pennebaker did against J-Town. But Holy Cross. But I believe J-Town has just one too many more athletes they can maybe get the ball out to a little bit more than Doss can with Logan, Washington, and Cornish. I think having those 3, and they've got a decent passing attack too with Jaden Potter, if it does get drier and later in the game. But like you said, I don't think J-Town's played their kind of game of football yet. This may be the start. I don't know. It's a very hard game. When we made this game of the week, I knew it was going to be a good one. But for this one, I'm going to lean J-Town just a little bit.
There you go. And I'll make my pick, and then you can make yours last. They lost Westmoreland, and that was huge, man, for them. He did a lot for them guys, but they got Ladarion Smith. I think he can be a difference maker. Cornish playing both ways. Is he going to be healthy being the QB1 and that middle linebacker? Man, it scares me every time I watch him because I'm just like, dude, you're the whole team. You know, you're the quarterback on both freaking sides of the ball. You know what I mean? So I think with Cornish there, with Ladarion Smith, with Shirley, I don't know if they can stop Jordan Robertson. I don't know if they can because, like you said, weather could be a fact. It could be a messy field. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to go Doss close.
Yeah, it'd be close.
Great analogy for both of you. And I only agree with one of you.
I think I know which one you agree with.
Here's my questions. J-Town's strength of schedule is a big question for me in this game.
Yeah.
Really, the only team they've really played that was, I don't want to say any good, but was good enough was Holy Cross, and they shut them out.
Mm-hmm.
J-Town's past D, evidently they're really good. Doss is not going to throw the ball this week that much.
No, Doss runs the ball 92% of the time.
I texted Paul and I said, feed the stud. Feed the stud. Give it to Jordan 40 times. See what happens. He's either going to take you to the promised land or you're going to at least control the clock and keep them away from scoring.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to Doss's rush against J-Town's rush defense. Can J-Town stop? They're going to pound. 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 Can J-Town's defense hold up? A lot of those kids play both sides. Will that affect their offense?
Yeah.
I think this is a really close game. I think it's 21-20 Doss.
There we go.
No disagreement here.
Fly, Dragons, fly.
Game of the week. That was our pick. And now we get to the extra point, our alumni picks. I will go first. I have DeSales at Western. DeSales, man. They found a run game last week. Yes. They leaned on it. They didn't have to have, Devon Martin come out and pull something out of his ass, last second. And you know what I mean? This defense, Evan Young he's getting them together. They're playing
healthy too.
They're getting healthy. They're playing fast. They know what they know what they're going to be doing. Man, shout out to Evan, man, for getting them guys right, man. I think they're rolling at the right time. They're just coming off back-to-back victories. Holden Valley did like 150 yards total offense. Yep. So. Well, we know Western is down right now. They're hurting. The numbers, the dudes, everything.
It's a Thursday night game too.
Yeah, it's a Thursday. Yes. But yeah, I'm gonna go to DeSales. Coach is getting mad at me. Coach, let's talk about this a little bit because you text me. It's like, hey, you're always gonna go against Western. You're always gonna have that 1-0 mark, right? We started in the beginning. That was gonna be my alumni pick. I just want to make sure we're clear. That we started. I stated that I'm going to go Western from
I think
day
one.
one.
Alumni have had a little tougher schedule and a little tougher time picking the games than you have.
You might be right. You might be right, but what should I have done?
You got to dance with the girl who brung you.
Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure. We're clear.
I was going to take the easy way out this week and pick the male PRP game just to be a jerk.
Well, I was going to ask that question. I'm like, is your game going to count for 2, the game of the week?
No, I got another one.
Okay.
I've got another one I'm throwing.
He got the Kevin A. Smith pick.
I got the Kevin A. Smith bowl.
Let's go, baby.
Gotta give bowl. Go ahead. So you're taking DeSales.
I'm taking DeSales.
Go ahead.
So our game for
you
the
got
week.
a tough one.
Yes.
Another one.
Yeah. What a surprise. There's been a common theme.
Something ain't adding up, Dakota, is it? They're playing the Steelers next week.
Well, we know the Steelers wouldn't sadly score on touchdowns on offense.
They're 3-0, so that's all that matters.
True. My team's 2-1, so hey, it is what it is.
Brad, what's your team?
Hey, I don't even want to talk about it.
Brad, what's your
I
team?
don't even want to talk about it. This bear is down right now.
So speaking of Bears, we'll go to the Spencer County Bears, my alumni. This week they travel down to Western Hills to take on the Wolverines. They're 4-0 right now. Some people back home are, I ain't going to say it, but they're basically thinking this is going to be a cakewalk. I'm not in that camp. there's some people back home. Last year we won 38-0. We shut them out and everything. But this year, Western Hills has been playing a lot better. The competition they faced isn't the best, but they're doing what you should do against competitions that's not up to your level.
Look at their defensive stats.
Yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't break it down right now, but through 3 games, they only allowed 184 rushing yards total. So you're looking at.
And they're going to get a rushing attack this week. That's for damn sure.
Well, I was going to say, and right now they're rushing for a little over 1,200 yards.
Yeah.
Western Hills.
Yeah,
so this is going to be a running.
This game might be over in 17 minutes.
Yeah, who knows at this rate?
The clock will never stop in this game.
No. But I think a big thing, because we have also at Western Hills, you've got your guy down there, the defensive end. I cannot remember his name right now. Committed to Kentucky.
Oh, Jadavion?
Yeah, Jadavion. I cannot remember right now. Forgive me. I thought I had his thing right here.
He wasn't there when we went down there.
No.
But I mean, yeah.
He was at Michigan or something.
Yeah, had one of the big
official visit somewhere, the big boys.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, so, number one, I think right now he's the number one recruit in the state of Kentucky. He's a 4-star, massive man. Marksbury and them ran to him last year, but I think Western Hills, it was the first year for Vanderpool at the helm for them and everything. This year, I think it's a lot different. I think Western Hills is a lot better than what they were last year because, like I said, they are actually taking care of the teams they should be beating. I mean, they're 46-0, 42-7, 50-12, 47-0. Like, if you're doing that against teams, you're a lot better than what you were last year when you were going into overtime and fighting with them.
They also have that other DN. He's what, 6'6", coach? He was bigger than you.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. It was a Zachary. I can't think of his last name.
We'll have to put it at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll put it. Man.
Yeah, he was bigger than me. So
he's
got 2 dudes at end tackle.
Their front line is massive. And Spencer County last week played Franklin County, lost 40-6 in that one. But it was actually interesting because they were down 17-0 at half, but the 14 points came off of, funnily enough, bad long snaps over their head into the end zone. So the special teams was really a big factor in that game compared to what I think some people thought it would be. Still, with all that being said, it's going to be a close one. Like you said, it'll probably be 17 minutes. The game will be over with this Russian attack. I've said it before, and Spencer started to do it at the end of the Franklin County game. They started to spread them out a little bit because Franklin County was just loading the box and just saying, we'll play ball in a phone box. I mean, in a phone booth, if that's where you want to play it. But when they started spreading them out, doing little RPO runs and little quick passes, it spread them out enough that's like, okay, now we can play our brand of football again. I don't think they'll need to go to it right out the gate, but I think they need to kind of establish that, hey, we can pass the ball back off a little bit.
Yeah, they got to keep them. They got to keep them on their toes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go Spencer County. It's gonna be a lot closer than what I think some people think.
Oh, hey, he said he got cojones, bro. Let's go.
I would say their defensive line is gonna be the most interesting part with this. If Spencer can maybe get to the edge fast, they don't have Kellen Marksbury last year, who was their speed demon on the outside.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I mean, they do have a good freshman in Jake Green. He's a freshman, but he's trying to take that role over as like the speed demon. But the big star for us is Armin Smalley. The dude has been catching left and right. He got 2 massive catches against South Oldham that kept us in the game. And that's why I'm like, if we can get him the ball, it'll be a little different. But compared to some people at home, Spencer County, I'll go a touchdown or 2.
Oh. Look at this guy.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I did not expect that.
I did not. Hey, good stuff, man. Hey, now we got to go to the bowl game.
Good.
If you call this fucking game.
Whoa.
Well, I was going to say,
NC-17,
you want to hear what the next game for Spencer County is after this? 4-0 Henry County. Oh, and then Shelby County, and then North Oldham. So I ain't got it easier after this.
They better get it while they can.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to go, I'm going to call this the Kevin A. Smith because I said I was Stephen A. Smith. Somebody called me that earlier in the year. And I'm going to call it the Something's Got to Give game because I'm picking Butler at Southern. Butler's 0-5, Southern's 1-3. Both RPIs are terrible. Southern's 28. Butler's dead, almost dead last, 37. Fairdale's dead last, by the way. Last season, Butler won 34-7. I don't really care because I don't think either one of these teams are what they were last year. Butler's this is a weird. Butler's 0-5, right? But listen to their schedule. Listen to who they've played. They lost to Mayo, Eastern, Central, PRP, Seneca. Pretty good schedule.
Pretty good.
Let's see who Southern's played. They lost to Doss, they lost to Valley, they lost to Du Bois, and they beat Iroquois. Now, I'm not a Philadelphia lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that Butler's schedule's a little better than Southern's.
I agree.
Yeah,
The stats are really going to blow your mind. Butler's only scoring 4 points a game. How's that even possible? And they're giving up 30. Southern scoring 18, giving up 21. Wow. This is something's got to give, Bo. Somebody's got to step up. Southern schedule gets phenomenally different once they get into district play.
Exactly, yeah.
Butler schedule, they play Atherton, Fairdale, Iroquois. They can win a couple of those games, I think.
Yeah.
Both have bad schedules. Butler's is way better. I'm saying way better. I'm not just saying a little better. I'm saying way better at this point. But my question is, can Butler score in this game? Can Butler score at all? Because if you're averaging 4 points a game, you ain't scoring.
No.
I think it changes this week. I think Butler wins this game. I don't care if they play on the moon. I think Butler beats Southern.
And there we go.
I think this is I think they win like 21-7. They score 4 points all year. They're scoring 21 this week.
There we go.
Butler wins this game.
Okay, here we go. So that was our pick 6. Hey, we got to know the Chopper a little bit, man. We got our official sponsor, Summit Sunglasses. So go to summitsunglasses.com and use our our code CLEATS15 to get 15% off your order. Man, it's been good.
Yeah, help these guys out.
Yeah, help them out. Hey, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. We are growing, and we really appreciate you. Also, everything will be time stamped. So, hey, skip to what you want to hear. Hear our picks, and listen. These things are durable.
I'm getting some shade.
Yeah, these things are.
We'll get some shade this week.
Hey, they got some. They
passed the quality control test.
Yes, we did the drop test.
5 seconds after I got them.
I just want to say, does he look like Deion Sanders right now with those shades on?
Let's go.
Me and Mandeville put the primetime shades on and took our picture earlier in the year.
That is right. I remember seeing the picture now.
Let's go, fellas. Well, like I said, we appreciate you guys very much. This is very long, but like I said, timestamp everything so you can skip to it. Got to know the Chopper, man. Go listen to this part, man. The first part, really enjoyed it, man. Really enjoyed getting to know the Chopper a little bit more.
I love telling my story. Because guess what?
Hey, Summit Sunglasses, baby. Go help them out.
There we go.
Look at these. I'm going to change it up.
There you go. Change it up. Yeah, let's go.
Like
hey, right here.
Field.
Dog.
He looks like a dog with those on. So, yeah.
Brian Bosworth. These are the Brian Bosworth.
All right, we appreciate you. And like we always say, everyone has a story.
We're here for them to tell it.
Cleats to Whistle podcast.